1. Spirited Away. Spirited Away takes you to a world that feels like a fever dream and a childhood memory at the same time. It's about a girl who stumbles into a bathhouse for spirits, and what makes it unforgettable is how it captures that specific feeling of being lost and finding yourself again. There's something deeply comforting about watching her navigate a place that should be terrifying but somehow feels like home. 2. Toy Story. Toy Story understands what it means to be replaced, to feel like you don't matter anymore. It's dressed up as a story about toys, but really it's about ego and friendship and learning that love isn't a competition. The way it handles those themes with such gentleness, that's why it still hits after all these years. 3. The Lion King. The Lion King is one of those films that just lives in your chest. It's about grief and guilt and the weight of living up to who you're supposed to be. The music, the landscapes, the way it treats loss with real respect. It all comes together into something that feels ancient and personal at the same time. 4. Your Name. Your Name plays with time and distance and connection in a way that's hard to explain, but easy to feel. Two people keep switching bodies across time and space, and the film makes you believe in the invisible threads that tie people together. It's achingly beautiful and makes you want to reach out to someone you've been thinking about. 5. WALL-E. WALL-E barely uses dialogue, and that's exactly why it works. It's a love story between two robots on a dying Earth, and it says more with silence than most films say with 1,000 words. There's something pure about watching this little trash compactor hold hands with another robot while the world crumbles around them. 6. Up. Up earns every single tear it pulls out of you. The opening sequence alone is a masterclass in storytelling, but the whole film is really about second chances and letting go and finding new reasons to keep going. It's about loss, yes, but it's also about what comes after. And that's the part that stays with you. 7. Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is about a father who can't let go and a son who needs to prove himself. And it handles that dynamic with so much heart. It's funny and colourful and exciting, but underneath all that is a story about trust and fear and learning when to hold on and when to let someone swim on their own. 8. Inside Out. Inside Out makes emotions into characters, which sounds like it could be cheesy, but instead it's deeply moving. It's about growing up and learning that sadness isn't the enemy, that sometimes you need to feel everything to process anything. It gave so many people permission to not be okay all the time, and that matters. 9. Ratatouille. Ratatouille is about passion and art and being told you don't belong. It's a film about a rat who wants to cook, but really it's about anyone who's ever been told their dream is impossible. The way it treats food as art, the way it celebrates creation itself. It makes you want to care about something, the way Remy cares about a perfect dish. 10. Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke doesn't pick sides, and that's what makes it powerful. It's about humans versus nature, except both sides have a point, and both sides are capable of beauty and destruction. It trusts you to sit with complexity, to understand that some problems don't have clean solutions, and that ambiguity makes it feel true. 11. Coco. Coco understands that remembering someone is a kind of love. It's about family and legacy, and the way music carries memory forward. The film treats death not as an ending, but as a transition, and it does it with such warmth that even the saddest moments feel like an embrace. It makes you want to call your grandmother. 12. Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle is a spell in film form. It's about a girl cursed to be old and a wizard running from his responsibilities, and it wanders through its own story with dreamlike logic. Not everything makes perfect sense, but it doesn't need to. It feels like being wrapped in a warm blanket while the world outside keeps spinning. 13. The Incredibles. The Incredibles is a superhero film that's really about marriage and parenting and feeling stuck. It's about people with extraordinary abilities dealing with very ordinary problems, and that contrast is what makes it work. It respects its audience enough to be about something real while still being wildly entertaining. 14. Grave of the Fireflies. Grave of the Fireflies will break you, and you need to know that going in. It's about two siblings trying to survive war, and it doesn't look away from the hardest parts. It's devastating and unflinching, but it's also necessary. Some films exist to remind us what cruelty costs, and this is one of them. 15. A Silent Voice. A Silent Voice is about a bully trying to make amends and a deaf girl learning to forgive. It handles disability and redemption and self-hatred with real care, never taking the easy way out. It's uncomfortable in the best way, the kind of film that asks you to sit with your own mistakes and think about the people you've hurt. 16. Shrek. Shrek pretends to be a comedy about fairy tales, but it's actually about loneliness and acceptance and finding someone who sees past what you show the world. It's funny, genuinely funny, but it also has this beating heart underneath all the jokes. It taught a generation that you don't have to change yourself to be loved. 17. Kubo and the Two Strings. Kubo and the Two Strings is about stories and grief and the way we use myth to process loss. Every frame looks like a painting, and the story unfolds like a bedtime tale that keeps getting darker. It's about a boy, his magic and his family, and it treats all of it with the seriousness and wonder it deserves. 18. Soul. Soul is about purpose and passion, and whether life has to mean something to be worth living. It's a film about a jazz musician caught between life and death, and it asks bigger questions than most animated films dare to touch. It doesn't give easy answers, and that's exactly why it matters. 19. The Iron Giant. The Iron Giant is about a boy and a robot and the choice to be more than what you were made to be. It's set during the Cold War, and it uses that fear to tell a story about kindness and sacrifice. The last act will wreck you, but it earns every emotion it asks for. It believes in heroes, the real kind. 20. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse explodes with color and style and heart. It's about a kid who doesn't feel ready becoming a hero anyway. And it's about legacy and living up to a name that feels too big. The animation alone is revolutionary, but what makes it special is how much it cares about every single character who swings across the screen.